Morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Howard.
Good morning, Judge. Good to see you.
Good to see you. You're not joining me?
Yes, I am joining today. Yes. Me, myself, and Mr. McLean.
Okay. I thought you were coming down here with me. After having a long weekend.
Yes,
We needed that, huh?
we did. Mr.
Let's see, who else do we have getting on with us? Let's see, Mr. Segura. Ms. Sorry, who else? Solicitor's office, are you here?
I am. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning, Ms. Sorry. Good morning, Mr. Segura.
Good morning.
All right, we're ready to start.
I believe so, yes.
I'm sorry.
I believe we are ready to start.
Okay, you all will turn on your cameras. We'll get started. All right, good morning, everyone. I am Judge Regina Mincy, and this is the state all-purpose calendar in the State Court of Fulton County for today, which is Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. I want to remind everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being live streamed and recorded, live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. Everyone has a right to have counsel at this time. I'm sure that you do. Also, I want to remind everyone that you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say about your facts and circumstances or the occurrences can and will be used against you. So again, defer to your attorneys, listen to them, and govern yourselves accordingly. All right, what do we have? Position number one, Adrian Bohannon, case number 22CR003592H. Is that a no vote, please, still?
Judge, that is, we're requesting it be entered as a NOLO. We've agreed to the terms. But we're asking that it be entered as a NOLO.
Okay. Whose case, Mr. Segura, Ms. Sorry, who's?
It's
case?
my case, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have the first half of the calendar?
Yes, Your Honor, 1 through 14.
Okay, thank you. All right. And again, what's the disposition of this case?
This is a negotiated plea, Your Honor, and we do not have an objection to the NOLO plea.
All right. And would you like to read the terms of that NOLO plea into the record, please?
Yes, it's 12 months to serve 15 days, credit for time served 15 days, the balance suspended, and a stay away from the incident location, which I will grab in 1 second.
Okay.
That address, Your Honor, is 410 Lyndhurst Drive Southwest in Atlanta. And Lyndhurst is Lynhurst.
Is this defendant here, deputy in courtroom 2?
John, I don't know which defendants you're doing. I usually would give the position number, so I don't know which one you're on.
Oh, I thought I announced position number 1, Adrian Bohannon, I'm sorry.
See.
Are you Adrian Bohannon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is case number 22 CR 003592H. And you're charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling and 2nd count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer. And are you pleading guilty today, as I think it is a NOLO plea? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you played NOLO in the last 5 years?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And Ms. Sori, you said that the stay away address is 14 Lyndhurst Drive.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and those are all the conditions, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, Mr. Howard, is that your understanding of the plea?
That is our understanding, Judge, and we do stipulate to a factual basis, venue and ID in relation to this case. We ask that you accept the plea as negotiated.
All right, I will. Mr. Bohannon, is that your understanding of the plea as well?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to ask you a series of questions in order to accept that plea. And I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give, do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I need to ask you again, are you Mr. Adrian Bohannon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you under the influence of any medication, drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. All right, are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading NOLO, that you are giving up or waiving your right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes, ma'am.
That you're waiving or giving up your right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you also know that you are waiving or giving up these rights freely?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're prepared to do that today? Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading NOLO?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead NOLO?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, the probation may be revoked because of your plea here today?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you offer this NOLO plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charges against you?
Yes, ma'am.
And then as the charges of loitering, or prowling, and obstruction of law enforcement, how do you plead?
What, no.
Okay, NOLO, good. All right, and did you hear the conditions of your sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is 12 months to serve, 15 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance suspended, and you are to stay away from 410 Lyndhurst Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. Clear about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I will accept your NOLO plea today, Mr. Bohannon. Is there anything else that the court needs to take up at this time?
Nothing further from the state.
Okay, all
That
right.
is with the judge.
Thank you. That will conclude your case.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, we have a couple of announcements.
Yes.
Position number 21, Mr. Barry Pryor. He's quarantined. Also add on to Mr. Eric Hughes is quarantined. And position number 26, Mr. Don Travius Williams is quarantined.
And those will be reset to when?
Your Honor, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I am here on behalf of Don Travius Williams. So since he's in quarantine, I guess if I can get excused, I don't have any,
Yeah.
I would have to go down to the jail to get permission, and I haven't had an opportunity to speak to him since he's been picked up. I was hoping to do that today.
Okay, and those are, do we have an exact reset date or? Okay, hold on 1 second, Ms. Watson. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, would have, but
Well, if they accept. Hands up.
I believe that Ms. Middlebrooks is stating that they're going to be reset till Thursday. So we'll see what happens for Thursday if they're available at that time.
Okay, that's perfect, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, thank you. You may be excused. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Your Honor, you too.
You too.
Your Honor, next, can we go to position number 22, Mr. Kyle Puckett?
Okay.
My name is Monica Allen, representing Mr. Puck in this case.
I'm sorry, say that again. It was a little sketchy. I couldn't hear you very well.
Are you able to hear me now?
Who's speaking?
I just stopped my video to try to help the connection. Can you hear me now, Your Honor?
I am. Who's speaking?
Attorney Nautica Allen.
Okay,
I represent Mr. Puckett.
okay, hold on. We haven't called that case yet. Miss Allen, when the deputy does, let's see. That is position number 22.
Yes, Your Honor. I thought that's what the deputy just called. I apologize if he didn't.
That's the position I called, position 22, Kyle Puckett.
Okay, he did. I'm sorry. I just wasn't for sure who you were and I couldn't see you on the screen. There we go. Okay.
Sorry, I have a hearing in Henry County after this, so I'm trying to get the best connection that I can.
Right, I think it was a little in and out, so we'll do the best that we can. This is position number 22, 19 CR 003816B, Kyle Puckett. And Mr. Puckett, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence and a 2nd count of battery family violence. And I understand, is this going to be a plea, Miss Allen?
No, Your Honor, we don't plan for it to be a plea today. Are you still be able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, this case has originally been in Judge Porter's courtroom in Fulton State Court. We got word of this calendar last week. So we're a little confused. We're working on plea negotiations in Judge Porter's courtroom. So I haven't had the opportunity to talk to the solicitor, Mr. Segura here.
All right, Mr. Segura, what is your understanding for today?
For this case, apparently back in June the 6th, there was a jail trial which was reset, but somehow this case got back into the SAP calendar. And so we're also a bit of a loss as what's going on.
And so is this rolling back? Hold on 1 second for me. All right, Ms. Allen and Mr. Segura, this case, I think it was already on a jury trial calendar. Is it going back to Porter for further notice for jury?
Yes, Your Honor, that was my understanding of the case.
Right, I'm not sure exactly how it ended on SAP, but things happen. So we will send it back to the division judge and be further notice for trial. Is that correct? Is everyone in agreement with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is that your understanding and agreement too, Mr. Segura?
It is, yes.
Okay, all right, you may be excused, Ms. Allen, unless you have any other cases on the calendar.
No, Your Honor, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 9, Mr. Dantes Griffin.
Okay. Oh. She said she didn't have anything else, right? Is this is position number 9, Mr. Dantes Griffin. 22 CR 003537D. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence. And I had this one as the conflict attorney, but is it not, Mr. Howard?
Right, Judge. She filed an entry in this case. So I don't know if she realized he was on today.
I was getting ready to say she must have, yeah. I didn't know if it had changed. She thought she didn't have anything else on the calendar.
Mhm.
Oh, again, excuse me.
Okay,
Can I speak? I have a attorney that I paid for to represent my case, and it's not that lady anymore.
you hired private counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is that?
Daniel Kane.
Daniel,
Mhm.
last name,
Kane.
spell that,
Kane.
Kane.
Yes.
Okay, is he supposed to be on this calendar? Did you,
I-
I'm sure he was notified, did he file an entry, or I don't know if you're aware of all of that?
I spoke with him, but he said we was gonna come back to court July 11th.
You were gonna come back to court for, I can't hear you that clearly.
We was gonna come back to court July 11th to handle the case.
Oh, he said on July 11th,
Yes.
huh? Does anyone else have that information?
Your Honor, I don't see another entry of appearance. The last one I see was filed on 6/16, and that was Miss Watson Cafe. So that's the last attorney of record that I'm able to see.
Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 minute.
I never heard of the attorney. Never spoke with the attorney. But just the one time when I first came to first appearance, that's it.
Okay, hold on a second. We're checking into that. Give us a minute. All right, we have contacted the attorney, Mr. King. And we're sending him the Zoom link.
So, yep. So, Your Honor, you want to go to another position?
Yes,
Okay.
until he gets on, that'll be fine.
He's logging on now. Oh, yeah. Let's go. We can go to position number 13, Mr. Devontae Hoosier.
Okay. This is 22 CR 003818G. Mr. Hoosier, you're charged with 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property. I have hold for an announcement.
Yes, Judge, if we could hold for it or not, we're trying to confirm something. We believe he may be a conflict for office. So if we could hold for that.
Okay, all right. We will hold deputy for that.
So we can go to position number 20, Mr. Potter.
Okay.
I'll represent Mr. Potter today.
All right, Mr. McLean. This is 22 CR 003598J. Quinlan Potter, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and a 2nd count of disorderly conduct with the offense date of June 7th, 2022. And what is the announcement on this case?
Negotiated plea, Your Honor.
All right. And that's your understanding, Mr. Segura?
It is.
All right. And you can go ahead and read that disposition or that sentence into the record, please.
The state's recommended plea is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance suspended, and a stay away from the Chevron gas station located at 111 Boulevard, Northeast Atlanta. Thank you.
All right, Mr. McLean, is that your understanding of
Yes, Your Honor. It is.
the condition? Okay. All right, Mr. Potter,
Yes, ma'am. Does that mean, ma'am, I'll be going home today?
I'm sorry.
Does that mean I'll be going home today, ma'am?
Once the plea is accepted and entered, then the jail will begin to process you for release unless you have other holds. I cannot,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
tell you exactly, but this case will be concluded.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And again, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to these two charges, criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. Is that correct? You can put your hand down. Can you hear me? Okay.
Your Honor, we have a connection issues. Can you repeat the first question? Start from the
Oh,
first.
okay. It's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty that you are giving up the right and waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes, ma'am.
That you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're prepared to agree and waive these rights today, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today? Can you hear me? Okay. Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, that your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I wanted to know if I was on probation anywhere.
Well, I can't advise you of that. Mr. McLean is your attorney.
I can check separately on that, on Odyssey, but if it's a Fulton County matter. But the defendant needs to, of course, understand, as we went over the plea statement sheet, that is a type of question of, do you understand that if you are on probation elsewhere, it could be affected if the wrongdoing alleged was on a date while the probation was open in that other place.
Do you understand that, Mr. Potter? It's a possibility. I think they froze again. Mr. Potter?
I couldn't hear on the internet frozen.
Yeah, I know. I apologize too. We're having some connectivity issues. I think Mr. McLean explained it to you. It's a possibility if you're on probation somewhere else that it may be affected, or it could be. But we're not able to look that up at the moment. We can only tell you about Fulton County.
Okay. And it doesn't say that I have one on Fulton County anymore?
Hold on a second. Mr. McLean is looking, I think.
Well, I am in Odyssey. I was having some connectivity problem, but just about 2 minutes ago, it knocked my audio out and I'm back in.
Right. I think it's going in and out. So we'll do as best we can today. If we've got some issues a little bit with connectivity.
Yeah, I checked all this yesterday, but I will double check on Mr. Potter. Let's see, I've got QU and ION. Currently under Odyssey on Mr. Potter's current booking number, it shows only two things: the criminal trespass and disorderly conduct.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. I just had some words, that's all.
But when you click on the red booking number itself, it only says disorderly conduct.
And having Ms. Middlebrooks to double check that for me. Okay. And you have the two charges, criminal trespass and disorderly?
Then again, Your Honor, when you click on detail, then it goes back to showing both criminal trespass and disorderly conduct, which is our case. So I think we're okay.
Okay.
Fulton County.
Right. I think we're fine then on the two charges. Do you offer this guilty plea, Mr. Potter, freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charges against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so as to the charges of criminal trespass and disorderly conduct, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All
Or
right,
Nolo, whichever one I was supposed to, I can't remember which one I was supposed to plead.
I have you down for a guilty plea.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, again, you are being sentenced with 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance suspended. You are to stay away from the Chevron gas station located at 111 Boulevard, Northeast Atlanta. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I will accept your guilty plea and your understanding of the conditions and the sentence. All right, is there anything else, council, that we need to take up?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that will conclude your case, Mr. Potter. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, we got position number 28, Mr. Tyrell Williamson.
Okay.
That is also a negotiated plea.
All right. All right, Mr. Tyrell Williamson, 20 COV 0000401. You're charged with one count of simple battery with the offense date of September the 10th, 2020. And you are Mr. Williamson, is that correct? And this is a negotiated plea.
Yes, ma'am.
Attorney Kane was also on.
Okay. All right, Mr. Williamson, you are pleading guilty to simple battery, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Mr. Segura, would you like to read the disposition as well as the terms of the negotiated plea?
Yes, the state's recommended plea is 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served 13 days, balance probated, an 8-week anger management course, 40 hours community service, a stay away from the family Donald located at 2324 Cascade Road, Southwest Atlanta, and no further contact with Carlos Lopez. Thank you.
All right. Mr. McLean, is that your understanding of the negotiated plea?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you stipulate to venue, facts?
We do.
All right. All right, Mr. Williamson, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me ask you a series of questions. It is my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to one count of simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up and waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes, ma'am.
You're waiving and giving up the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer,
Yes, ma'am.
and that you're prepared to agree to waive these rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea today?
I do.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with a full understanding of the charge against you?
Yes, ma'am.
So as to the charge of simple battery, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, and you understand that the negotiated plea and the conditions, 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served 13 days, balance probated, 8 weeks of anger management courses, 40 hours of community service, and you are to stay away from the Family Dollar located at 2324 Cascade Road, Southwest Atlanta, and you to have no further contact with Carlos Lopez. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
And what you need to do while you're on probation? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
because he is indigent, as shown by our having accepted representation of him, I would, because it's a probated case instead of a time served balance suspended case, I would normally, and do in this case, ask the court to consider waiving a couple of months of the $49 a month probation fee while he pays for that 8-week anger management. And I would ask the court to consider making it non-reporting as soon as he completes these two conditions, which are the anger management and the 40 hours of community service.
Mr. Segura, do you have any objection to him going non-reporting once he's completed the conditions?
There is no objection.
All right, he will go non-reporting once he's completed the conditions, and I will waive 6 months of probation fees.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else, counsel, we need to take up?
No need.
No, Your Honor, everything froze for me for a second, but then now everybody's unfrozen.
I was gonna say, is there anything else that we need to take up? Did you hear me say waiving 6 months of probation fees?
I did not, but thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. And he goes non-reporting
Right.
once he's completed the conditions.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. All right, that should conclude this case, Mr. Williams, and good luck to you.
Your Honor, can we go back to position number 9, Mr. Griffin, Dantes Griffin? I see Mr. King
Okay,
called in.
now he stepped away. Let's see, Mr. Kane.
Just there. I guess we can go to another position.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he stepped away.
Yeah, I tried. We're gonna go to position number 5, Mr.
I'm
Yada.
here, Judge.
Duggan.
Okay,
Yada Duggan.
yes, Mr. Howard?
Was that my, oh, I thought you were saying that was my client that was up. All right.
Come on. Position number 5.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Mr. Duggar, this is case number 21 CR 0000703F. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery. The offense date is October the 19th, 2020. And what are we doing today with this case?
This is gonna be a bond hearing, Judge.
Bond hearing, okay. All right, and this is your case, Ms. Sorry.
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right, you may proceed.
Yes, just 1 moment, please.
Okay.
Your Honor, in this case, officers responded to the incident location of 2904 8th Street in East Point, Georgia. They responded regarding a dispute call. The victim in this case, whose name is Angel Foreman, she stated that she was at the incident location with her girlfriend, who is the sister of this defendant. The victim also stated she was washing clothes when the defendant began to throw her clothes outside for no apparent reason. And when she walked in the house, he slapped her in the face and it caused swelling. Your Honor, there were witnesses on site to corroborate this story from the victim. This defendant has 18 arrests in the last 5 years. He has a 2016 obstruction, burglary, and theft by taking arrest, 2018 probation violation, and driving while license suspended, and a 2019 driving while license suspended. He also warranted on this exact case last month. So the state's recommendation is to keep the bond as set with the same conditions, nothing further.
And give me the information on the current bond.
Yes, Your Honor. 1 second. Bond is currently a $10,000 surety. And I'm sorry, I also did not mention he had a prior failure to appear in this case back in 2021. So that would make 2 FTAs for this same case, which indicate that he is a flight risk and that he will not appear to answer for the charges.
All right. Mr. Howard?
Judge, first, is the clerk able to confirm what address the notice was sent to in this case? Because we believe that is the crux of the issue based on my
Okay.
conversation with Mr. Douglas.
Okay. She is
2904.
checking right now. What is the address?
2904 8th Street, East Point, Georgia.
2904 8th Street, East Point, Georgia.
Yes, Judge, and it's my understanding that he was ordered to stay away from that address when he was arrested, which is why he did not get the notice. He tells me that he gave the address of 717 Bernice Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30310 at the time of his arrest as an alternate address. And however, no notice has ever been sent to that address. So obviously the problem is he's forbidden from being at an address where the notice is being sent. And so we would ask the court to take that into account. And because he had no intent to not appear, he just didn't know. Judge, he's a lifelong Georgia resident. He was born and raised here, attended Carver High School. He has 3 children, ages 19, 15, and 16, that he is actively involved with. He currently works full-time, and he's hoping to be able to maintain his job at Cisco, located at 2500 Riverdale Road. He's been on that job for 3 years and 4 months. So he's very concerned about being able to maintain his employment, and his incarceration here puts that certainly in jeopardy. I didn't hear a violent history, Judge. And again, not all, bench warrants are created equal. The intent is to bring people to court who otherwise will not come, but that is not the case with Mr. Duggar. He just was not aware, given that it went to the address that he was ordered to stay away from. So we would ask the court to reinstate the signature bond, which I believe was that pretrial may have come off of, or somehow it was converted to a surety bond. So we would ask that he be released on a signature bond in this case.
And Your Honor, just to reiterate, this is the second FTA. There was one last month, and the first one actually was back in July of 2021. So he has failed to appear twice. If notice was an issue in one case, he's failed to appear a second time.
Well, Judge, the issue is he was only notified of missing either court date when he was arrested, which is why he's here now. So, right, they sent it twice to the wrong address. So the issue is still the same. We do have a current address for him now, Judge, that I can provide the court. He intends to fight these charges. The alleged facts as alleged by the state are certainly different than our understanding of the case. There's a lot more to this that'll come out at a later time. So we'd ask the court to allow him to contest these charges outside of custody. So we'd ask for a signature bond in this case.
All right. I'm going to reinstate the signature bond through pretrial. And I will make that amount the $10,000 signature bond through pretrial. And again, the stay away from the 8th Street address, is that correct? From the 2904?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is a stay away. And Ms. Middlebrooks has his new address, 717 Bernice Street.
Actually, I've got a different address. I'll put it in the chat
Oh,
now.
put in the chat, okay.
Yes.
And she will see that. We'll update his address. And were there other conditions again on the bond, bond? Did they have the anger management course on there?
Your Honor, I'm not able to see,
yeah.
but if we could also have a no contact order with the victim.
All right, I will ask him to take that anger management course through pretrial, as well as a stay away from the victim. In this case, is it Angel Foreman?
Yes, Your Honor.
And obviously, again, stay away from 2904 8th Street in East Point.
Okay, the one-day anger awareness, Judge.
Yes, the one-day anger awareness, yes.
Yes, I can prepare an
And
updated.
again, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, does that conclude this case, I believe?
Yes. that
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Your Honor, can we try position number 9? I see Mr. Kane is
there goes Mr. Kane, okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Beautiful day.
Yes,
Well, thank you.
all right, this is 22 CR 003537D. The defendant is Dantes Griffin. He's charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence. And what will be the disposition today, Mr. Kane, with this case?
Well, Judge, I'm new to this. In all honesty, Dantes Griffin has a case in Superior Court, and his father told me that he had court today, so I was assuming this was another case. So I'm new to this. I will be happy to represent him, but I would need a chance to speak to the prosecutor.
Okay,
So I don't know much about the case.
okay, Ms. Sorry, this is your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And could I get your name?
Can you see on the screen, ASGLSAURI is her last name?
And I can send you an email in the chat.
Okay, very good. So when would we discuss the case? You want to do it now or after the calendar?
It would have to be after the calendar. I'm handling half the calendar, so.
Yes. Okay, well, I'm going to put in my information in the chat also. So Judge, therefore, is there a bond set in this case?
There is.
Okay, well then could we reset it for a couple of weeks and we'll figure what we can work out?
All right, I'm looking at my litigation manager. Hold on 1 second. I think he said he wanted a couple of, we have the 28th, but did you want 2 weeks?
Yeah, that'll be 2 weeks would be best.
Okay, what's the next date after that? Hold on 1 second, you'll get me the July 5th.
Woo.
I know. Right after the holiday.
That'll be fine.
She said, are June 30th or July 5th? And then what's the date after July 5th? July 7th?
Let's do July 7th.
Okay.
And could I get the case number? I'll send a notice of appearance in.
Yes, 22 CR 003537D as in dog.
Very
Or
good.
David. Mhm.
For Daniel.
Or Daniel. All right.
But with that, may I be excused?
Yes, you may. That will conclude this matter. Mr. Griffin, your case is reset to July 7th, okay?
Okay.
All right.
And thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good day to you.
Uh-huh.
Next, we have position number 27, Mr. Willie Williams.
That's my case, Your Honor.
Okay. This is 20 COV 000189. Mr. Willie Williams, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. The offense date is April 23rd, 2020. And what will be the disposition for this case today?
That's a negotiated plea.
All right, negotiated plea. And this is Mr. Segura's case.
It is, yes.
Okay. And that's your understanding as well, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
But the state's recommended plea is 12 months to serve 18 days, credit for time served 9 days, balance probated, an 8-week anger management course, and a stay away from 75 Hope Street, Northeast Atlanta, and no further contact with Shorty Morris. Shorty spelled S-H-I-R-L-E-Y, Morris, common spelling. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mr. McLean?
That is our understanding. We ask the court to accept the negotiated plea. We stipulate to factual basis, venue, and ID. And because he is taking an anger management 8-week on this, and it will cost him several $100s, I would ask the court to consider waiving some months of $49 a month probation supervision fee and considering non-reporting as soon as he completes that condition.
Okay. Do you have any objection, Mr. Segura, to going non-reporting?
There is no objection.
Okay. All right. Mr. Williams, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. Need to ask you a series of questions. It's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to 1 count of simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes,
All right, are you in the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
no,
Are you satisfied with the services of and representation of your attorney?
yes,
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up or waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
yes,
And that you're giving up or waiving the right to remain silent and not testify against yourself? Uh-oh. Can you hear me, Mr. Williams? Oops. Mr. Williams, are you back?
yes, I'm here.
All right, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up and waiving the right to remain silent and not testify against yourself?
Yes,
That you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
yes,
And that you are prepared and agree to waive these rights today, correct?
yes,
Has anyone told you that you receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
no,
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
no,
And do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
yes,
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charge against you?
yes,
So as to the charge of simple battery, how do you plead?
guilty.
All right, and I will explain the conditions of the sentence to you. And that is 12 months to serve 18 days, credit for time served 9 days. The balance is probated. You will have to complete an 8-week anger management course. You're to stay away from 75 Holt Street, Northeast Atlanta, and you're to have no further contact with Shirley Morris. Is that clear?
Yes,
All right, I will waive 6 months of your probation fees. And once you complete your 8-week anger management course, you can go non-reporting. But you have to complete that first, you understand?
yes,
Okay, and I'll help you out a little bit by waiving 6 months of those probation fees. Okay,
okay.
all right, any other questions from council or anything else we need to take up?
Yes, I had a aggravated assault. I had to put a knife on the chain.
Your Honor, I'll find out from Odyssey if he has something else.
Okay,
And if there's
okay,
an attorney listed, I'll ask that attorney to
Okay.
contact him and answer his questions about
Okay.
any other case he has.
All right, Mr. McLean, we'll get back to you on that other case, okay? All right, good luck to you.
thank you, man.
Huh?
Next, we have position number 17, Mr. Charlie Kendall.
Garber, Williston, Potter, and Bohannon.
You said where you?
That one is a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay,
The Williams son.
You just let me represent you.
all right, Mr. Charlie Kendall.
Yeah, ma'am.
This is 22 CR 0035441F. And you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. And that offense date was June 4th, 2022. I understand this is a negotiated plea today, is that correct?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, and Mr. McLean, do you stipulate to the venue identity and factual basis?
We do.
Okay, and Mr. Segura, you want to read in the sentence, please?
The state's recommended plea is 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served 18 days, ban is suspended, and a stay away from Walgreens located at 25 Peachtree Street, Southeast Atlanta. Thank you.
All right, and is that 12 months to serve, is it 26 or 36?
36, so it's time served.
Oh, 26, okay.
26, so
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
36, 26.
Oh, 36, okay. All right, Mr. Kendall, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up and waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yeah, ma'am.
That you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yeah, ma'am.
Are you prepared to agree to waive these rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
And has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
no.
And do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charge against you?
Yes, ma'am.
So as to the charge of criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Yeah.
All right. And so again, your conditions of your sentence, and the disposition is 12 months to serve 36 days, credit for time served 18 days, balance is suspended, and you are to stay away from Walgreens located at 25 Peachtree Street, Southeast Atlanta. Do you understand that?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Anything else, council, we need to take up?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I will accept your plea and good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
I got position number 18, Mr. King.
Okay.
That is also a negotiated plea.
Okay. This is 19 CR 0072991A. You are, is it Shriner King?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with one count of loitering or prowling. The offense date is January the 28th, 2018. And are you going to plead guilty today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. McLean, do you stipulate to the venue identity and factual basis?
We do, Your Honor. It was a bit of time ago, but he tried to remember it and I think came up with it in his memory.
Okay. All right. Mr. Segura, what's the disposition and the plea?
And the state's recommended plea is 12 months to serve 18 days, credit for time served 9 days, ban suspended, and a stay away from 1360 Peachtree Street, Atlanta. Thank you.
All right. Is that your understanding, Ms. McLean, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Mr. King, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to loitering and prowling, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I say no, no, ma'am.
Okay, are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up or waiving the right to remain silent and not testify against yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you're waiving and giving up the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are prepared to agree to waive these rights today, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No, Your Honor.
And has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charge against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
So as to the charge of loitering or prowling, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
All right. I will accept that. And again, reading the terms, 12 months to serve 18 days, credit for time served 9 days, balance suspended, and to stay away from 1360 Peachtree Street, Atlanta. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else we need to take up, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
That will conclude your matter. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Uh-huh.
We have position number 10 and position number 11, Mr. Guar.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Mr. Gua,
Come on.
I believe is on the calendar because I think Mr. Jordan put him on the calendar because Mr. Gua was calling his office.
Oh, okay.
I represent him on both cases. There's bond on both. The cases are signed to Judge Richardson. The earlier case, my client missed court on that one, and then subsequently he was arrested on a new charge in April. Judge, I was just hoping to have the cases sent to Judge Richardson. There's perhaps an evaluation needed, and I'll take that up with Judge Richardson, who I will be in front of this Friday.
Okay.
I think that's the best way to approach this at this time.
Gotcha. All right, we will further notice these to the division judge to proceed on that schedule. So they will be reset to the division judge's calendar. Looks like they already have a date scheduled.
Thank you, Judge, for your courtesy. That's all I have. Mr. Gua, I will be
Okay.
in touch with your family.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
All I have.
All right.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, what date is that?
I think he said Friday, June.
Yes, I'm in front of him on a calendar call on this Friday, the
June
24th at 9:30. I'm in front of Judge Richardson, so I will address it with him then and the solicitor then. too.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you. All right. Thank you.
Next, we have position number 19, Mr. Jeremy Miller.
19. All right, this is 22 CR 003604F, Mr. Jeremy Miller.
That is a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
All right. And you're charged with 1 count of fare evasion, 1 count of criminal trespass, and a 3rd count of possession and use of drug-related objects, all with the offense date of June 7th, 2022. All right. Mr. McLean, you stipulate to venue, identity, and factual basis?
We do.
All right, Mr. Segura, go ahead and read the disposition and the plea.
The state's recommended plea is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, 40 hours of community service, and stay away from all mortar stations. Thank you.
All right, is that your understanding, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Miller, I understand that you're going to plead today. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me ask you this. It's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to the 3 charges that I read to you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No,
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
I am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up and waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
That is correct.
And you're giving up or waiving the right to remain silent and not testify against yourself?
Correct.
That you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes,
And you're prepared and agree to waive these rights today, is that correct?
that is correct.
Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
no,
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
I do.
Do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charges against you?
That is correct.
And so as to the charges of fare evasion, criminal trespass, and possession and use of drug-related objects, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. So again, those conditions are that, and the plea is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated. You are to complete 40 hours of community service, and you are to stay away from all MARTA stations while you're on probation, which means you have to take alternate or other forms of transportation. You cannot use MARTA while you're on probation. Is that clear?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get some assistance after this.
I'm sorry?
I'm pretty sure I'll be getting some assistance after this. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, well, that is good. Don't want you to violate your probation, okay?
Yes. I have a question.
Yes, Mr. McLean?
Yes,
Um,
I ordered.
I haven't, I haven't made a comment yet, so hold off on your question, if you will. And most questions we answer to you privately. Your Honor, on this case, since there is a condition of probation, the 40 hours community service, we would ask the court, as usual, to consider, because of his indigency, obviously he's in jail and he is represented by us, so he obviously qualified. We would ask the court to consider waiving some of the probation, $49 a month supervision fee, and we would ask the court to consider going to non-reporting probation upon condition being completed, that is the 40 hours.
All right, Mr. Segura, do you have any objection of going non-reporting after completion of the 40 hours of community service?
There is no objection.
All right, so I will order that he goes non-reporting after completion of the conditions of 40 hours of community service, and I will waive 6 months of probation fees.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Mr. Miller, that should conclude it. Any other questions, you will speak to your attorney. Thank you.
Next, we have position number 25, Mr. Taylor.
Okay,
That is also a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
okay.
Good morning.
All right, this is 22 CR 003653G, Lander Taylor. You're charged with 3 counts of obstruction of a law enforcement officer and 1 count of fare evasion, all with the offense date of April 19th, 2022. And so, counsel, what do we have? A negotiated plea. And Mr. Segura, can you read that plea and the terms for me?
The state's recommended plea is 12 months to serve 108 days, credit for time served 64 days, balance suspended, and a stay away from all MARTA stations. Thank you.
Okay, is that your understanding, Mr. McLean?
It is.
Do you stipulate the venue, identity, and factual basis?
Yes, we do.
All right, and Mr. Taylor, that your understanding that you wish to plead guilty to these 4 charges today, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am. It is.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
All right, are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney at this time?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up or waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up or waiving the right to remain silent and not testify against yourself?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And that you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And you prepared and agreed to waive these rights today, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And has anyone told you that you'll receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No, ma'am, they didn't.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charges against you?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So as to the 3 counts of obstruction of a law enforcement officer and 1 count of fair evasion, how do you plead?
I plead guilty. Your
All
Honor.
right, and so you are to, the sentence rather is 12 months to serve 108 days, credit for time served 64 days, balance suspended, and remember, you are to stay away from all MARTA stations. So while you're on probation, well, it's suspended, but you are to stay away from all your MARTA stations, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, all right, Mr. McLean, anything else that we need to take up?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Segura?
No, Your Honor.
All right, your plea has been accepted. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Next, we have position number 6, Mr. Fletcher.
this is 22 CR 00355H, Mr. Donald Fletcher Jr. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass with the offense date of June 5th, 2022. And this is a negotiated plea, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sori, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Howard, do you stipulate to the venue, identity, and factual basis?
We do, Judge.
All right, and Ms. Sori, can you read me the disposition of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. The state and the defense have negotiated a plea of guilt to criminal trespass with conditions of 12 months to serve 17 days, credit for time served 17 days, the balance probated, and MHET, no contact with the victim, and a stay away from the incident location. And those I will grab for you in 1 second.
All right, anything with, there's no MHET or restitution, is that correct?
Yes, MHET is a condition.
All right, and then what is the, is there a restitution amount?
No, Your Honor. We took out the restitution
Okay,
and I'm sorry.
mm-hmm.
That incident location is, I'm sorry, the victim's name is Barbara, that's BARBARA, Bara, last name Vellan, Vellan.
Hmm.
And the incident location is 100 Broad Meadow in Roswell, Georgia.
Okay. Anything else, council?
No,
No,
Judge, we
further.
ask that you accept that plea as negotiated. We would ask Judge, that the court consider waiving the probation fees. He'll obviously have to report just to follow up with his MH treatment, but he doesn't have, the funds at this point, so we ask that the probation fees be waived.
All right.
No
Mr.
objection from the state.
All right, thank you. Mr. Fletcher,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
can you raise your right hand for me? Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you put your hand down. It's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to one count of criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up and waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're giving up or waiving the right to trial by judge and jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're prepared to agree to waive these rights today, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with a full understanding of the charge against you?
Yes, yes, Your
So as to the charge of criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Honor. Guilty.
All right, and so you heard the conditions read by the state, and you understand those, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so again, this sentence will be 12 months to serve 17 days, credit for time served 17 days, balance probated, MHET, that evaluation, to stay away from 100 Broad Meadow in Roswell, Georgia, and to have no further contact with the victim, Barbara Elaine. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I will agree to waive your probation fees. All of them. And, is there anything else? Yes.
Nothing further from us, Judge.
Nothing
Okay.
further from the
Anything
state.
else, Ms. Sorry? All right, that will conclude this matter. And good luck to you, Mr. Fletcher.
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Judge.
All right.
Your Honor, I believe all the other positions I have need to have a breakout room with Mr. McLean.
Okay,
And I also have Mr. Carmichael, and I think his attorney needs to have a breakout room. I seen a message in the chat.
I see a message there, yes. Okay,
And Mr. Howard, what's the verdict on Mr. Hoosier, position 13?
oh, that's right, we were holding for an
Yes,
announcement.
I'm calling someone. I'm waiting for them to give me a call back. Hopefully in a few minutes, I have an answer for you on that.
Okay.
Right.
And so, who's my Zoom person?
Mr. McLean, if you want, can you call extension 23? It's 22392. I'm sorry, 22392, extension 22392. And I'll put all those clients on the phone for you.
May I get an update for position 24, Trinity Robinson?
22392.
She's in Union City.
Oh, okay, thank you.
South Annex.
Mr. Segura, I'm handling that case. You said you have an update in that case?
No, I want an update. I didn't know if she was
Oh, okay.
South Annex or not.
Yeah, she's a South Annex. Should be.
Okay,
Good
And I
morning.
s-
She's in South Annex.
yes. And I see attorney, Amon Ra, I would like to know, she needs a breakout on Don Clavius Carmichael.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's my case, but I'm actually handling half the calendar, so I wouldn't be able to go into a breakout unless we just call Mr. Seguro's cases.
Okay. I would have to check with the deputy on that. Hold attorney, as soon as we can get you into a breakout with Miss, sorry, we will do that, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. All right, who do we have next? We're at the South Annex. Are we still in courtroom two? I apologize.
Your Honor, the only cases I have left are add-on 1, add-on 3, add-on 4, position 13, and position 3. Those are the only cases I have here in courtroom 2.
Okay, hold on a second, deputy. What was the statement on add-on?
3, his case was closed on June 14th.
Add-on 3, the case was closed June 14th.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, so we don't need to do anything with Mr. Mitchell.
I will submit the null price for criminal trespass count 2.
Okay. And then, are we taking then a plea on the first count with the time served, or just you're gonna sign?
He's already pled on the first charge back
Okay.
on 6/14.
Okay. So is that attorney Amon Ra's case as well? I see that on the notes, but she didn't mention that one. Attorney Amon Ra. She may have.
Your Honor, this is her legal assistant, Shania. She had to step in the Cobb County courtroom real quick. I'm about to get her.
Okay, I was just making sure on Isaiah Mitchell.
Mitchell's not her client, it's Carmichael that's her client, Your Honor.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the regular calendar, not that.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Carmichael-
I'm sorry, you don't need to get her, I don't know if she's,
Okay.
no, that was my mistake, sorry. I was looking at the wrong notes. We're fine with her. And we're waiting on, for add-on position 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, Ms. Sari's gonna send over a no pros. And that's it for add-on 3, correct? Anything else on the add-on cases? I know 2 is quarantine. So that would be positions 1 and 4. Any announcements on those, Mr. Greer or Mr. Woodward?
Judge, Mr. Greer, I believe Ms. McLean just needs to speak with him, but we anticipate that'll be resolved today by way of
Okay.
plea.
Yeah, McLean, can you call back? Greer hung up the phone by accident, so you could talk to the rest of your clients.
Yes, I just asked Mr. Hughes if there was anybody waiting behind him. I guess he did hang up by accident. I'll redial.
Thank you.
Okay.
What?
I think I just heard Woodard's name called.
He has the
Yes.
phone right now. He picked up the phone.
Okay, he's on the phone. Very good.
And then who do we have before us, or he's waiting, deputy?
That's Mr. Greer. That's Mike McLean's client. He just got off the phone with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
While Mr. McLean is speaking, do you want us to do South Annex, or you want us to wait with you?
Mr. Woodard, I just spoke to, he will be, we would ask that he be continued and go to jail jury.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, we got add-on 1, Mr. Greer.
Okay. All right, so add-on 4, Mr. Woodard, resetting to jail jury for the notice. Oh, has Mr. Woodard been arraigned, Mr. McLean?
I imagine that he probably has been. We can provide him with a written copy of accusations and make sure that he's aware of all his rights,
Okay,
if that saves time for the court today.
all right. Does he need to do a waiver of arraignment, or are you just double checking? She's double checking. Let's make sure.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was that date for reset on number 4?
Number 4 is reset jail jury. I think it's further notice.
He has not been arraigned.
Woodard has not been arraigned. Mr. McLean, hold on. Let me take that back. Hold on.
He's on arraignment count. I don't have a file.
But you don't know if, yeah.
He was on arraignment on February 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was released to March 2nd, and he failed to appear.
Uh-huh. He's on the phone. Hold on a second.
Your Honor, are we still gonna need Woodard?
Now I can ask Mr. McLean. Mr. McLean, my litigation manager says that Mr. Woodward was scheduled for February 9th, reset to March the 2nd, and then FTA. So are you gonna waive his arraignment? Because I don't know that it happened on 3/2.
I'll file any necessary waiver. We've discussed the case. I'll do that, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
shut all the mess and all the crap. But go
I'm
ahead,
sorry?
Go ahead, send me down the road for the time I got in jail and the tire I gonna get. I
Come
wanna
on,
go down there.
Woodard. Come on. I apologize about that, Your Honor. I thought you had something to ask, Mr. McLean.
No, that's okay.
And then add-on 1, Greer.
We have add-on 1 in front of you, Mr. Travis Greer.
Okay, good.
Mr. Howard is double checking about just a bit of math, that if there's a 40 instead of a 45, that would mess him up for a couple of days unless we just modify it to the thing being a double 40.
Okay.
I think the two sides are in agreement as to what should happen. It's just a matter of whether we should announce 40 or 45 as the credit to make it happen, what is intended.
Right. Okay. And which prosecutor is on this case?
It's my case, Your Honor.
Okay. And are you all doing math, Miss Sorry?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm going over it as well.
I am not gonna help in that regard, okay?
Understood.
Not my specialty.
At least they don't ask us to do calculus in here.
Oh,
I've
God,
just got a
yes.
I've got a text from Mr. Howard said he found the other 40 of the other 6 days. So it
Okay.
is fine to do.
Yes, this is what we've been working on back and forth as it
Okay.
came from a different courtroom. But yes, Judge,
Okay.
it's a total of 46 days that he served in custody. And Ms. Sorry, is it your understanding that it's a 90-day sentence with credit for the 46 days?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's just the paperwork. We didn't want it to confuse the clerk because the way it's written, it's not very clear the way Mr. Patrick wrote the plea paperwork up.
Gotcha, okay. All right, so this is just gonna be a time served plea on Mr. Greer.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Greer, your case number is 19 CR 009077F. Travis Greer, you're charged with 1 count of pedestrian in the roadway, a 2nd count of carrying a weapon without a license. The offense date for both is November 21st, 2018. And I understand that this is gonna be a time served, credit for time served or time served plea today. Is that your understanding?
It is my understanding, Mr. Greer, did you hear the court?
Hold on, I think he's, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, great. And so with this time served plea, just raise your right hand quickly for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, stated, stipulated to the facts and venue and identity. Factual basis, identity and venue. Mr. Clayton, are you stipulating?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, we do stipulate to factual basis, venue, and identity. Thank you.
Great, all right. And Mr. Greer, I need to ask you a few questions. Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up or waiving your right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that you're giving up or waiving your right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you also, are you also prepared rather to agree to waive these rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone told you that you receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charges against you?
Yes, ma'am.
And so as to the charge of pedestrian in the roadway and carrying a weapon without a license, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, all right, and so your sentence and the disposition is 12 months to serve, credit for time served, looks like 46 days. So therefore, there's nothing else that we would need to do or you would need to do because it's a time served plea, okay?
I have a question.
Generally, ask it of Mr. McLean, yes?
For Mr. McLean, did I do my 46?
Does the deputy want to put a question in chat or have him call my desk phone? Because my battery on my cell phone's way down. So if he called 25215, I could answer that while I mute this.
Yes. Uh-huh.
It's 12 months.
We were able to answer that question. He's satisfied with that.
Okay, so Mr. McLean, this credit for time served plea and Ms. Sorry, so it says 12 months to serve, so it's not, it's, make sure I'm clear on this.
The balance is suspended.
Right.
Okay.
Let me just double check that.
Okay,
See, that's what I was afraid of. Right, Judge. It should say 12 months to serve 90 days.
thank you. There we go. And that's what Ms. Middlebrooks is getting me on. She
Right,
was
that was
making
the
sure.
agreement that was made.
Okay,
90 days credit for time served, which is the 46 days.
Yes.
And the
Gotcha.
balance looks like it's suspended.
okay. All right, are you clear, Mr. Greer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That should conclude this matter. If council has nothing else to take up, and good luck to you, Mr. Greer.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Did you have an update on position 13?
Okay,
Okay, yes, I was able to confirm. Mr. Hoosier will need a conflict attorney. Our office represent a co-defendant in his felony case, so probably a reset to 628 to allow, one of the conflict attorneys to get involved.
okay. Okay, so yes, position 13, Mr. Hoosier. We set him to 628, is that okay? Okay. A conflict attorney. All right, who do we have, deputy?
That was Mr. Huser.
Yes, he is reset to June 28. We need a conflict attorney for him.
Okay. Only person I have left is position number 3, Mr. Carmichael.
Okay. Let's see, is Attorney Aman Ra back? I know she's in another county now. Someone from her office may be monitoring. Attorney Aman Ra?
Yes, I'm about to go get her right now. This is her legal assistant. Are
Okay,
you guys ready
yes.
for the breakout room?
Okay.
You all are ready for the breakout room?
I believe we are, or she can call in. Is that correct, deputy?
Call in. What's the number to call in?
I think she needs the breakout room with you guys. I don't think it's.
Yes,
Oh,
she
oh.
does.
And this is
Yes.
Ms. Sari's case?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right,
Okay.
and who's doing that?
Ms. Champion.
Ms. Champion? Can you put?
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Yes, good morning. Can you put Ms. Sari and Attorney Ammon Ra in a breakout, please?
And would you also need to be in the breakout, Judge?
Yeah, I don't know, do I need to be in it yet, Ms. Sari? Are you all just talking about the plea?
I'm actually not sure what she wants to speak about.
Okay, so I don't know that I need to be in just yet. I don't think. So put the two attorneys in first. And then someone come back and tell me if you need me.
Yes, Your Honor.
'Cause she just said, sign with the assigned solicitor. I think she wants to discuss your plea possibly.
I think I'll mute.
Ms. Ammon Ra?
everything is in divine order. The fact that they can hear it, that this is listener, she's wanting to get it. Everything's in divine order.
Okay.
Ms. A. Monroe?
My apologies, Your Honor. She's trying to handle her other client, but she's
Oh.
right here. She's just handling the
Okay,
paperwork. for
okay.
the plea. I'm sorry. She's coming right now.
Yeah, I understand she's juggling. We understand.
All right, Judge, you said the breakout out room is.
Yes,
ready?
you want to be in that room just with the ASG, sorry, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. We're getting ready to do that. Ms. Champion is putting the two of you in a breakout room.
Okay.
All right. All right.
I believe position 24, that's Mr. Segura's case. At South Annex, are we prepared to do that case?
Yes, Deputy, while they're in the breakout, we'll go to the South Annex, if that's okay.
We're ready, Your Honor.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
And we have position 24, Trinity Robinson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's 17 CR 028-101Y. She's being charged with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and giving false name, address, or birth date to law enforcement, both with the offense date of June 19th, 2016. And what is going to be, is this a negotiated plea?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Segura, that's your understanding?
It is, yes.
All right, can you read to me the disposition in the plea terms?
The recommended plea is 12 months to serve 74 days, credit for time served 37 days, and balance suspended. Thank you.
All right, that's your understanding, Mr. Howard?
It is, Judge, and we stipulate to a factual basis, venue, and ID in this case.
All right. Ms. Robinson, is it your intent that you are pleading guilty to these charges today?
Ma'am.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No.
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up or waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes.
That you're giving up or waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes.
Are you prepared and agree to waive these rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No.
And do you understand that if you're currently on probation, that your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charges against you?
Yes.
So as to the charges of willful obstruction and giving false information, false name, address, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, and so you heard the conditions of the plea, which were 12 months to serve 74 days, credit for time served 37 days, and the balance suspended. Are you clear with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, I will accept your plea. And there's nothing else to take up at this point. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Brooks?
Okay, who do we have, deputy?
Position number 8.
Okay.
Ms. Segura, is Ms. Sari handling that case? I believe she may be handling that.
Oh, yeah, she's at the beginning of the calendar.
Yeah, I have positions 15 to 28.
Yes. All right. Yes, it'd be Ms. Sari, Judge.
All right, we're holding for a second deputy. She's in the ASG's in a breakout.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's hold for a second.
Good, Judge. I think Ms. Sari is back, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm back.
Okay. Ms. Sari, on the add-on 3, that was your case?
Yes, it was.
And Ms. Middlebrooks was asking the first charge, had he already pled to the time served?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, he already did that.
He took a plea last week on the 14th.
Oh, okay.
SAP calendar.
Gotcha. So on 6/14, he did that. Okay. Yes, and she's sending a no pros for the second one today. Hmm. Hmm. All right, you have an announcement, Ms. Sorry?
Yes, Your Honor, we do have an announcement regarding position 3, Mr. Carmichael,
Mhm.
and I'll defer to the defense attorney.
Okay,
Good morning, Your Honor. On this case, my client has an open felony case with the same alleged victim, and has a probation violation pending. The only offer the state has at this time is 12 months in custody for this charge. But we have other information regarding his felony case that we're seeking to present to hopefully get a different offer. So I'm asking for it to be redirected to the division judge on this case. It was on the calendar, I believe, recently to go to trial. But so we're asking for it to be directed to the judge, assigned judge at AC and the assistant solicitor general for us to do further, for us to provide further information and hopefully resolve it in something other than a custody plea.
okay. All right, and so Ms. Middlebrooks, we will just send that further notice to the division judge? Okay, so that would be further notice
Thank you, Your Honor.
and sent
Thank you,
to
Your Honor.
the division judge. All right, thank you. Does that conclude your business, Ms. I. Monroe?
Yes, Your Honor, it concludes my business with Fulton County. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. And then at the South Annex, we have,
Position number 8.
and that's Ms. Sari's cases. What case, what's your announcement on that one? That's a plea,
Yes, Judge, that is a negotiated plea.
negotiated plea?
Yes.
All right, this is 19 CR 008501Y, Sparkle Griff. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery. Ms. Sari, what is the plea?
Yes, Your Honor, the plea recommendation is 12 months to serve 24 days. Credit for time served 24 days, the balance suspended. No contact with the victim, whose name is Amber Pearson, that's PEARSON, and to comply with any medical, any medication that she has been prescribed. Nothing further.
Judge, that is our understanding of the plea. We ask, we acknowledge there's a factual basis, venue and ID. We stipulate to that. We'd ask you to accept the plea as negotiated.
All right. Ms. Griff, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. I understand that you want to plead guilty on a negotiated plea to simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and again, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol at this time?
No.
Are you satisfied with the services and representation of your attorney?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up or waiving your right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes.
And that you're giving up or waiving your right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes.
And are you prepared and agree to waive these rights today?
Yes.
Has anyone told you that you will receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty today?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea here today?
Yes.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charges against you?
Yes.
And again, as to the charge of simple battery, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. And so again, the plea is 12 months to serve 24 days, credit for 24 days, and balance suspended. All right. And I think that will, again, you are to have no further contact with Amber Pearson, and you comply with your medication as prescribed. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Next, we have position number 7.
Number 7. Is it Miss Gahani?
Gani, yes.
Gani, okay. All right, this is 22 CR 003574C. Your charge is 1 count of reckless conduct with the offense date of October 16th, 2020. Oh, this is the case where we have, is this still with private attorney?
Yes,
Okay, Mr. Partridge.
yes.
Okay, we were trying to get in contact with him. Have you spoken to him recently?
Yes, ma'am. He said that he had a conflict. He was in Fayetteville courtroom for a Superior case, and he said he was going to send an email in regards to the conflict and to have it reset.
Okay, let's see if we have that. Hold on a minute. Let us double check.
I don't have it. So we can reset it to Thursday.
Mhm. We'll reset it for Thursday. See if you can get in contact with them, if your family can. Because we don't have an entry of appearance in our conflict letter, correct? We have neither.
Okay, do you happen to, it was Mr. Howard, the public defender, because he did tell me that the public defender contacted him yesterday as well, and he spoke with him briefly, and he said he would speak with me and he would get back to the public defender. I don't know who the public defender was because he didn't.
Yes, that is correct, Judge. I contacted Mr. Partridge.
Okay.
And he did indicate, I gave him Mr. Jordan's email address to reach out to the clerk about any announcements. So, but he did indicate he was gonna meet with Ms. Ghani and they would work things out. So.
Okay. Well, we'll reset it till Thursday, Ms. Middlebrook says.
This Thursday?
Mhm. Is it, hold on, before I say that. Okay, Thursday is the 24th, 23rd. The case is gonna be reset to June 23rd on Thursday.
Can I ask if Mr. Howard can contact him again and see, because I don't know if he's on trial in Fayetteville or whatnot for this week. So I just want to just ask if Mr. Howard is able to reach back out to him in regards to that.
Sure, I can call and let him know it's being reset to Thursday, and I guess he'll notify the court of any conflicts or problems.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
Yes.
And do we have any more at South Annex?
No, ma'am, that'd be all.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good day. I'm ready to go.
Okay, we're ready to reconcile. Middlebrook says.
Position number 1 was a plea. Position number 2 has been released, restating to further notice. Position number 3 will be a waiver of arraignment, reset jail jury. Position number. Is that 4? I lost my spot. I'm sorry. Position number 5 will be reset further notice. There's a bond modification for a $10,000 sign-on bond through pretrial.
Okay, did we make an announcement on 4? We're gonna waive jury on that.
Okay, so position number 3, reset jail jury. Position number 4 should be waived arraignment, reset jail jury.
Sorry, position number 3 was sent back to the division judge.
Yes.
Okay.
Position number 5 is a bond modification for a $10,000 sign-on bond through pretrial, reset further notice. Position 6 was a plea. Position 7 has been reset to the SAP for June 23rd. Position 8 was a plea. Position 9 has been reset to the state all-purpose for July the 7th. Positions 10 and 11 have been reset until further notice. Position 12, waiver arraignment, reset jail jury. Position 13, reset to the SAP for June 28th. It is a conflict attorney needed. Position 14, reset SAP June 28th. Position 15, waive arraignment, reset jail jury. Position 16, reset to the state all-purpose for June 28th. Position 17 was a plea. Position 18, 19, and 20 were all pleas. Position 21 has been reset SAP June 23rd. Position 22, reset jail jury. Position 23 was released. Position 24 was a plea. Position 25 was a plea. Position 26 been reset to the SAP June 23rd. Positions 27 and 28 were pleas. On the add-on calendar, position 1 was a plea. Position 2 has been reset to the state all-purpose June 23rd. Position 3, the second charge is to be nullified today. And position 4 is a waiver of arraignment, reset jail jury.
It was 12.
12.
So on position 3 add-on, so it was a null process of the second criminal trespass and what, a plea on the other?
Correct.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, anything else?
I believe that concludes.
That concludes it. All right, thank you all. See you next time.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.